It's Sunday afternoon here on Vlogging Life. I actually got up at 10:30 today, but I didn't really get out of bed. I just kind of wanted to lay there, and it was warm. It was really warm in my bed. I didn't want to get out of it. It was comfortable, but the dog had to go outside, and you know how it is. You know how it is. It's like the dog's got to go outside. Got to get motivated to step out of the warm bed into the cold atmosphere and let Scruffy outside so he can drop ass at -40°C. That's what happened. So today I'm sitting there and I saw this article actually on my phone. So my phone, if you swipe right on the home screen, it brings up news articles that are trending, so you can get a little bit of an update as to what's happening in the world today. And this one here is in regards to postal workers dropping off delivery slips without knocking. And it was a Canada Post. Remember they just went on strike because they wanted more money? Well, this here is a situation that I also ran into a couple times with these guys. And we'll explain as I go downstairs to make a G Fuel. It's been a couple situations. Like back when I ordered my XPS 9000, the XPS 8300, where they don't want to carry the package to the door, so all they do is leave a delivery slip on your door telling you to go to the depot and pick it up. And I've had Canada Post do this to me with a couple Deal Extreme orders and other things. Mainly because they don't feel like carrying the package from the truck to the house, for whatever the case may be. Like if it's over 50 pounds and you don't want to carry it, I don't know if it's an insurance liability situation, but they could have just came to the door and said, hey, can you give me a hand with this? It's kind of heavy. And I would have been more than happy to go out and get it, just to save myself a trip to the depot. Because the problem is they show up at 11 a.m. to drop off your package, and they fail to do so. Sometimes you have to wait till 8 p.m. that night, and other times you got to wait till 5 p.m. the next day to go to the depot and pick it up. That's a real major inconvenience if you're waiting for something crucial. Like a computer is not really a crucial thing, but what if you're waiting on like a delivery of medication or an important part for your vehicle or whatever the case may be? That extra time is time wasted. And let's face it, people, the number one commodity in your life is time, because no matter how hard you try, you can never make more time. Man, this floor is freezing. But anyway, so somebody set up a security system outside their house and actually recorded multiple scenes of them ordering stuff and Canada Post just showing up and putting a delivery slip on the door telling them to go pick it up at the depot rather than actually attempting to deliver the package. And on the video you can clearly see the individual didn't even knock. Just busted out the "sorry you weren't here" slip, slapped it on the door and left, and buddy was home. It's like back in the day when that happened with me. I was waiting for that that Dell laptop, not the Ryzen, the other one. The Dell laptop I have in the bedroom. It's old. It's like a Core 2 Duo with an 8600 GT. Anyway, I was waiting for it and waiting, and I was home, and he literally showed up, didn't knock or nothing, because I was downstairs at the time waiting, keeping an eye on my phone to see what the delivery status was, when it was actually, it went from on its way to pick up at depot. And I went and checked the door and there was a slip there. The guy ninja'd his way onto the property just to put a slip on the door. Like, why not actually try to do your job? That's why, like, with that whole Canada Post strike, that's why I didn't have sympathy for these guys. Like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's -40. It sucks delivering the mail in there. But this is your job. Take some pride in your work, you know? It's like, every job I've had, I tried to do the best damn job I could, because that's what you do. Not to impress the boss, it's because have some freaking pride in your work. And give her. Don't give them a reason to want to replace you. Give them a reason that they feel bad for not giving you a raise. Like, that's always been my way of thought. But hey, different strokes for different folks, eh? But the fact that this is actually on CTVNews, which is one of the major news outlets up here, where this is a major situation. Like, I wonder if Canada Post chimed in on this. Well, he spends about 45 seconds in his truck before jogging up to the house. So he wrote the slip in the truck. He's almost back to his truck when the homeowner calls him. Hello, he didn't even knock on the door. Oh wow, he actually responded, I didn't know anyone's home, I'll bring the package. So this guy here delivers it after he's busted. And he actually uses the excuse, usually there's nobody home, that's why. Like, yeah, like if he knocks on the door and doesn't answer within 10 seconds, then that's their fault. But this guy here didn't even have the package with him. Oh man. It's like, just do your damn job, people. It's not too much to ask, right? Just do your damn job. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of unemployed people out there that can easily deliver packages and put mail in mailboxes, and those guys get paid a damn good amount. Like I'm gonna go look it up right now. So from what I see here, a letter carrier, now keep in mind the only education you need is a high school education. You don't need no post-secondary to put letters in a box. All you have to do is be able to read the numbers and make sure they get to the right location. Starting at 20 bucks an hour, and it caps out at $26 an hour to put letters in a box. Now, you know, in the summer you got to deal with the grueling heat, in the winter you got to deal with the grueling cold, but $26 an hour to put letters in a box. And you can't do your job right? Like I said, there's tons of people out there looking for work. If you can't do your job, somebody else definitely will. Just saying. So after yesterday and today, I was chatting with some buddies, and it looks like stuff's going down on YouTube, people. What kind of stuff? The kind of stuff that makes us a couple pennies a video. I'll explain more after I rock a piss. Not going to mention any YouTuber names here, because that wouldn't be right, and that is one of the things that is involved in this whole ordeal. But lately, as you all know, I'm part of an MCN, a multi-channel network. They call themselves Fullscreen. Basically, back in the day, to be a partner on YouTube, you either A, went through YouTube's partner process, which was a whole rigmarole where you had to like fill out forms and all this stuff, and you had to hit a certain credential of views and a certain thing and stuff and junk, and then YouTube would be like, congratulations, AdSense enabled. It was quite the grueling process where you could just basically cheat and join an MCN, a multi-channel network like Fullscreen, Maker Studios, Red Light Broadcasting, all those different ones that are out there, and they would take care of all the grueling process of getting you enrolled in the partnership program. And then you would just become a YouTube partner and start making ad revenue off of your videos, which was a lot freaking easier. What's happened recently is YouTube's guidelines have changed. Now we all know that ever since Adpocalypse, YouTube hasn't been the same because of basically the content didn't fit the advertisers, and it caused a huge ruckus on YouTube. To the point where a lot of people lost AdSense because they weren't hitting credentials, so YouTube shut them down, so on and so forth. Well, recently there's been a whole plethora of creators with MCNs who received a notice from their MCN saying that they've been dropped because they've infringed on someone else's rights. So 2 days ago I get a message from one friend with a copy of the email saying, what the hell is this? Like, did you get this? And I didn't get it. I don't know how I didn't get it, but I didn't get one. I'm still with Fullscreen, but he was ejected out. And then today I get I'm part of this stupid thing on Facebook, smaller creators of YouTube channel on Facebook. And a lot of them on there started talking about how they received similar letters from their MCNs. And not all of them were with Fullscreen. Some of them were with Makers. Some of them were with Broadband TV. And they all basically received the same Dear John letter saying that we're going to be revoking you due to infringing on the rights of another individual. So I got curious and I decided to start researching to see exactly what was going on. So after a little bit of research here and there, I discovered basically YouTube changed their policies, and I questioned if it has to go in sight with that Article 13 that I talked about a while ago with streamers. So what's happening now is if they deem that your content you create is risky and at one point in time you could infringe on the rights of someone, they are preemptively terminating your connection with the MCN to protect their own network. Now let me explain how an MCN works. Basically, they're like a blanket company. They will give you partnership for a cost. Usually it's anywhere from 10 to 15% or 20% of your earnings on YouTube. However, they can justify this by offering you higher paying ads through premium ads. Now, what they also do for you is take care of any videos that may have copyright claims. They can actually go to bat for you. If somebody steals your content, they can go to bat for you and get that content you know, secured or monetized in your name, whatever the case may be. They take care of all the bullshit so you don't have to. That's what's nice about an MCN. Where when you're on your own with AdSense, you basically got to do everything. What I also like about an MCN is they deposit the cash into your PayPal, so I like that. And usually if there's a problem, they will contact you and notify you. Try and get a hold of somebody at YouTube, it's impossible. It's like finally having somebody you can talk to when you have a problem, and they'll get a solution because they have somebody at YouTube that they correspond with. Well, basically with an MCN, unlike a regular YouTuber, like a YouTuber, 3 strikes, you're out. You screw up 3 times, you breach the community guidelines 3 times, you're basically done. Thanks for coming out, GG. But with an MCN, if they get 50 infractions in a 90-day period, they're not done. They just get the ability to recruit new members suspended for 90 days. Which kind of hurts them, right? Because these guys make their cheddar by recruiting other people and then offering high-paying role ads, which they have to enroll into. Like they basically will contact, like, you know, other companies outside of YouTube's AdSense and say, hey, you know what? We got this guy who does tractor videos, we'll say. Hey, John Deere, we got this guy who does tractor videos. And he has a lot of people watching them and a lot of people buying into what he buys. And, you know, he really likes John Deere. We think we should roll an ad on here so we can have a click reference, so on and so forth. You see how these companies work now. So I talked to my guy over at Fullscreen. Actually, last night after Church and I were done and I closed the vlog, I managed to get a hold of him and we chatted for a bit, and I wanted to know what was going on here because I knew people were going to contact me because a lot of them signed up through my affiliate link because, like, they asked me, like, oh, are these guys good? And I was like, yeah. I said, don't expect them to, like, you know, run your channel and tell you how to make more views and you're going to overnight become, you know, Shay Carl or anything. So that's not what they're there for. I said they're there to manage the ads on your channel, and they have tools on their site to help you out. But by no means necessary are they going to sit there and pump your content out like an agent. This is not an agent. Fullscreen is not an agency company. And I think that's where a lot of people get the idea behind these MCNs, that there's some sort of like you're an actor and this is the agent. They're going to go out and find work for you. They're going to offer you tools to better your videos, but at the same time, it's up to you to make better videos. Well, from what I gathered after talking to my rep, it looks like what's happening is YouTube is trying to find a legal way to make it uncomfortable for MCNs. So they want them gone, but they don't want them gone because they know a lot of people won't basically produce content. Like Kid Behind a Camera, for instance, he's with Broadband TV. Jesse's on AdSense, he's by himself. I think Boogie2988 is also with Broadband. A lot of people are on MCNs. And people think, oh, well, all they do is gouge you and take money for nothing. Well, no, they offer you that person you can talk to if something happens where you can get answers. That's what I like about it, because at YouTube, there's nobody to contact. Something goes wrong, they send you a Dear John letter and it's super generic, you have no idea what it means, you can't talk to anybody. At least with Fullscreen, if I get a Dear John letter, I can contact them. Like, for instance, I had a pop-up on my thing asking me to do a W-9 tax form. We don't have W-9s in Canada. That's an American thing. I had to contact support and say, listen, this pop-up keeps happening. I can't fill this out. We don't have this kind up here. I said, it's asking for information for identification numbers that Canada doesn't use. So what do I do? And they're like, oh, just 1 second, we'll go fix that. We messed up. Something went wrong on their end. For some reason, I was listed as an American. They corrected it, problem solved, everything went its own way. On YouTube, if that was to happen, I would contact AdSense support, and if I was lucky, maybe in 3 months, I would get somebody to contact me back and advise me on how to proceed. But it sounds like basically YouTube is trying to make the lives of the MCN more hellish. But in a way, you know, MCNs are great for helping people get partnered without having to go through the whole YouTube rigmarole. But I did the math last night, or not last night, I should say Friday night. And this has been going on now since about Friday, And today I just talked to a buddy who lost his. He got a Dear John letter. He didn't realize it until he checked his email. Apparently he hasn't checked it all week. And he was all upset and stuff. And I'm like, dude, how many? I said, let me see your channel. I go to his channel. And he's averaging about 360 views a day. And I'm like, okay. Like on Vlogging Life, I average about 2,000 views a day. It's not much. Definitely not much. But I know that what I make is piss. Like, remember when I said December is the month that you make the most bang out of your buck on YouTube? Well, December I made $89 and November I made $70 US. Before that number, like November would be in the 400s, December in the 600s. Before Apocalypse. It's like the money is so not there anymore. So when I see somebody doing 300 views a day, I'm thinking, well, every 4 months you get a check for 50 bucks. Is it really that much of a reason to harp? Like, why cry over it? If I lost my AdSense tomorrow, if Fullscreen sent me the same letter, then oh well, you know? I wasn't making much money off of the damn site anyway. It's no use to cry over it. And he's like, yeah, but I just like that, having that status of being with an MCN and all that. And I said, why? You never used any of the, like a lot of the people don't use the tools. They have their free music libraries. They have their merch. Like you can actually set up a merch site through Fullscreen. I don't use it. I don't use a lot of the stuff. I just like the fact that I can go on there and message somebody when, you know, when things happen. I could talk to their support, find out what's going on. But a lot of people don't even use the tools to their own benefit. And if they did, not saying they get more out of it, but like if your whole goal on YouTube is to make money, then you need to rock every avenue possible. Get the merch going. You need to get, like Fullscreen has their companies that'll contact them and say, hey, can you promote this? I think they call it Guerrilla, the Guerrilla ads. And basically it's like, you ever watched a channel like Linus, for instance, Linus Tech Tips. Mind you, he's not sponsored through Guerrilla ads. He gets his own promos from his marketing team. But like he'll be sitting there talking and all of a sudden he's like, oh, and don't forget to check out this product sponsoring the video, blah, blah, blah. And he gives, well, that's basically what Guerrilla ads are. You pick a Guerrilla ad, you apply for it. If they say approved, they send you the package listing all the details of the product. Then you make a promo ad for it in your video, and depending on how many views your video gets, you get an extra chunk of change added to your AdSense. I've never done them. I never wanted to do them. I know a couple people who have done them and actually made a lot more money in the month. But like I've always said to you guys, this is not my job. This is just my hobby. I don't run a business out of this. I just like to pick up a camera, talk to it, and then run it through an editor. And if I were to lose that money tomorrow, let's say, oh no, like January, I think I'm not even gonna hit threshold, not even gonna hit the $50 threshold to get a paycheck in February. Oh well, it's like, oh well, this is the reason why I work. This is just for fun. So if I get a Dear John letter for making this video, or a Dear John letter for whatever other reason, oh well, is the way she goes. Would I put as much effort into the videos? Probably not. I might tame her down a bit more because even though the money is like, it's garbage, it's still kind of a motivating aspect to make more content and to do the daily thing, but I wouldn't stress it. I wouldn't stress the lack of money. I also wouldn't stress the video. You know what I mean? I would basically focus more on my life and less on talking to this camera. And I think she's trying to get inside of a box. It's inside of a box. Look at her. What are you doing? You little shit rat. Such a weirdo. I don't know what it is with cats and boxes, man. It's like crack to them. Anyway, I made my eggs, but no, like what I'm saying is I wouldn't stop making videos, but I would definitely stop doing them daily, and I would only make videos when I feel like it. If I had something. Like today I had just this to talk about, and what I talked about prior to this, which I can't remember already because holy crap, I need some food in me. I'm going to eat. God, I love me eggs. Well, seeing how it's too damn cold outside to do anything, I decided to do some more research on this Article 13 because I figured it's something I should probably understand too because I'm a content creator, and apparently it's affecting content creators big time. But it won't affect me because of the type of content I make, which is literally a camera on me all the friggin' time. So, should be okay. Oh, look at her. She's all sleeping on the couch. She's just a little kitten. Cute little feller. Anyway, I gotta rock a piss. Like, it's so deceitful out there right now, guys. See, like, you know, hills of fluffy snow, sun's out, you can see the shadow of the trees casting. It's so deceptive because what's actually happening out there is super cold. What's the current temperature outside in Fahrenheit?
The temperature in North Bay right now is minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit. There is currently an extreme cold warning in effect.
You think? Hey, minus 11 Fahrenheit, guys. What's the temperature outside in Celsius?
In North Bay, it's currently minus 24 degrees Celsius. There is currently an extreme cold warning in effect.
I figured I would cover both bases as my American friends and my Canadian friends. You know, saying how we both use different ways of measuring how much the outside world sucks. Oh, man. Anyway, what I'm doing right now, I'm going to make some chicken... I call these chicken breasts. They're chicken thighs. I screwed up. Sure, some people caught it out there in the video and made a comment. I'm going to throw some of these in the air fryer there and get some broccoli going with it. And make my din-din, because it's only 4:30 now, but I want to get to bed at an early time tonight because tomorrow is Password Reset Monday, and it's usually a busy day. So I kind of want to be well rested for tomorrow. And you know what? I keep saying this. Having 2 days off and then 5 days on is actually pretty damn good. I enjoy it. This is the life. When I used to work and work the 7 days on and then have the 4 days off, that was too many days off in a row. You go back into the office and you're like, it was like driving a car down a road doing 50, then you come to a stoplight and you're waiting for a while and then trying to get your car back up to speed, which is probably a horrible analogy, but let's just say that's the analogy I want to use. Being stopped for so long, it takes a while to get going again, and that's how it was on the after hours shift. And because every week was a different situation, like one week you strictly did calls and direct errands, the next week you would do calls and emails, and the week after that was just strictly emails. You'd have a hard time getting in the zone and dominating, and by the time you were in the zone dominating, your week was over and you're back in time off. So with having the same thing happening all the time, I find it helps out a lot. And the best part about it all is I have a routine. Like on the weekends I get up a little later, maybe 2 hours later than normal. Like every day I get up at 7 a.m. and then get my day started. Yesterday I got up at 9:30, today I got up at 10:30, but tomorrow I'll be back up at 7 a.m. and I find at night around 9:30, 10 I start getting sleepy. Even on the weekends, like even last night I was getting sleepy, so it worked out. But I'm not down here to ramble about that, and this is my problem as I get off topic. I want to talk about this whole Article 13 and what it means to us as creators. Basically, the whole concept behind it is the fair use terms of service are no longer a thing. So these people out there that are creating, like, let's say reaction videos where they're downloading someone's YouTube video and then they put themselves in the bottom right hand corner and they start talking about it as it's playing. Before that was allowed, because you're making content and you're using a visual aid to produce said content, fell under the terms of service of fair use. That's no longer a thing anymore. Fair use is gone. So when you'll see people that'll make videos and they might take a snippet of a clip, and a common one is the one from The Office where Buddy's like, no, 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 and he's just like losing it. That will no longer be allowed on YouTube, Twitch, all these platforms. And basically now, with Article 13 in effect, if you're in, like let's say you get an infraction for a copyright claim, it's no longer the uploader who is responsible. That's what's weird. It's now the platform that's responsible. So do you see now why this whole email about infringing your rights or infringing someone's rights is a thing? It's because you upload, let's say you upload a video, and I've done this in the past where I've used a clip from SpongeBob SquarePants where it was the 2 hours later, that little caption that comes up. Let's say you do that. You're now infringing on SpongeBob SquarePants copyright. They could turn around and sue YouTube for allowing that content to be uploaded. I talked a while ago about how YouTube, they say like for every minute like 600,000 hours of video gets uploaded to their platform. How are you going to screen all that content? So I guess what they've done, YouTube did, is they went through everybody's media, found what they could, and then notified the MCNs, and obviously on their own part, because I know some people on AdSense who have also been removed from the program for infringing on rights. I'm thinking they found something they didn't like, and that's why they pulled it. I wonder if she's actually cold sitting there eating her food. Hey, you want some more? Want to see a neat trick, kitty cat? Watch this. You put your paw in there and you do that, more food shows up. Yeah, you don't have to go so deep in the bowl. Another neat trick, you can do that with your feet. Yeah, you can. I guess what that means for the future of YouTube and Twitch and all that is, right now a lot of streamers like to use copyright music, and hey, my last stream, I was also bad for that. I had Spotify going in the background, had some Starcadian playing, I had some VHS playing, not VHS as in like the old cassettes, it's a band, they do EDM music. So between every time like Twitch and I would die and go back to the respawn area, I would play some music until we landed on the ground from parachuting, just to try and break the silence, because we weren't really talking, we were mainly like vaping or just chilling. So I figured, you know, I'll just throw some music in like what Dr. Disrespect does, add a little bit more production value to the guy, and see how that plays out. And it worked out pretty good, it was pretty cool. But that right there is in breach of Article 13. And theoretically could get me to lose my Twitch account. Now, this bill, Article 13, has been somewhat in effect since September 12th, from what I've read. And it's only now that they're starting to act on it. And that's why a lot of these people got those Dear John letters. Now, I know my one friend was notorious for basically using clips from TV and stuff like that to make their content more enjoyable, if you will, more funny, more to the point, and theoretically under fair use that was perfectly acceptable. But now that Article 13 is a thing, it's going to cause a lot of problems on the internet, because look at your top, look at a lot of the people that you watch, and look at the content they make and the way they actually get it done. And you'll notice that a lot of them like to use clips from TV shows or from movies, you know, memes that were generated from this. And they won't be able to do that anymore. They're going to have to come up with a different, more creative way, because the new law states the only content you can upload is original content. Stuff you've made. You want to use music? Cool. Make your own damn music. You want to use video clips? Cool. Make your own damn video clips. Don't go stealing them from the TV, from the Netflix, from the friggin' movies. You want to use it? It's got to be original. Homemade, you did it. And in the vlogs, like doing this kind of a video, it's easy. It's literally just talk about whatever's on your mind, hold the camera and film it. But when you want to talk about what's in the news, well, you can't do that anymore, because if you take a... camera just shut off there, had that buffer overflow. But if you want to take a snippet from like CNN.com or Globe and Mail or whatever, you're not permitted to actually take that snippet. Which is good, because this morning when I talked about the Purelator guy, I mentioned the news outlet, but I never showed the clip. Because that's Article 11. Yes, there's Article 11 now. Where news companies are upset because people are sharing their topics on Facebook and Instagrams and all that, and it's actually containing a part of the article, which a lot of people are reading that little part going, I don't really care, and they're not clicking onto the site. And therefore these news companies aren't getting their just deserves, which is more clicks, more, you know, traffic to their site. And that's pissing them off. So their solution is they want to start charging Facebook every time their advert shows up on the site, which, you know, to me that's kind of stupid. Even if 100 people looked at the link and 20 of them clicked on it, that's 20 more clicks than you had without that thing being there. But hey, this is the world we live in. Money is everything, and it's all about greed, right? That's the way she goes. That's the way the world works right now. Which is ridiculous, because if you think about it, that dollar bill in your pocket only has value if your government says it has value. You could wake up tomorrow, and that dollar bill ain't worth a dime. Just saying. But money makes the world go round, and it drives the greed, and that's why all these laws are coming into effect. Now, what does that mean for me? Absolutely nothing, because I make all original content, because all I do is talk to a freaking camera. And it's the way she goes. To other people out there, they're probably in for trouble, especially a lot of the Twitch streamers that like to use copyright music on their stuff to try and heighten the production value. It's going to be interesting going forward. But like I said, you know, if you're a small YouTuber like me, you're currently not making any money through the AdSense program. So if you end up losing your monetization, who cares? Just do it because you want to do it, and not because you're getting paid enough to buy a case of beer every month. You know what I mean? Well, at least in Canada, because a case of beers up here are like 50 bucks for a 2-4, because they gouge us. Way she goes, boys. Way she goes. Anyway, I thought I would bring some light to that Article 13, because I know a couple people will be watching, well, they watch my videos who are currently under flack, and I told them I'd look into it. I talked to my one buddy about it today, and he's kind of pissed off, and I said, you know, like, honestly, what's there to be pissed off about? So they dropped you. Who cares? Clean up your content, and then try again later on. That's all you gotta do. Just, you know, tell your audience, guys, this is what happened. This is the reason. I need to rethink my strategy on YouTube. I'll be back once I figure it out. And then figure it out, you know? It's not rocket science. And if you don't enjoy it anymore for that reason, then put down the camera and go find another hobby. It's that freaking simple, right? People might be upset, but they'll get over it. You know, like if I quit tomorrow, like when I did quit, people were upset, but they got over it. Some of you came back when I started back up again. A lot of you didn't. But hey, that's what happens. It's the name of the game. Way she goes, right? Way she freaking goes, boys. You know, it's super cold outside, yet she still goes towards the windows. Guys, when I first bought this house, it was so funny. The first winter got super cold, and this window likes to sweat because of how warm it gets in this general area. Felix used to sleep up here. He used to sleep right here on when he was just a little guy. Well, he would press himself up against the window, and it would get so wet here. I don't know how long he was there for, but I woke up in the morning, and I'm like, come on, buddy. Let's go get some breakfast. And he's like, meow, 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 ah, 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 ah. And that stupid sound he makes, ah, ah, ah. You guys probably don't remember that. But he couldn't meow like Scampers. He just went, eh, eh, eh. And I'm like, what? I go up and I pet him. And I went to put my hand behind him to scoop him up by the belly. I couldn't get my hand behind him. I was like, what the hell? His fur was physically frozen to the window. I was like, Jesus, Murphy. So I went downstairs and got some hot water out of the sink. And you ever tried to pour water on a cat? Yeah, that's a life-threatening thing to do because Jesus, Murphy. Cats do not like getting wet. Well, I ended up getting him free, and he never slept up there again because, well, he didn't want to rinse and repeat. Ah, yes, another healthy meal. Let's get it into me. I know this video is all about Article 13, but it's kind of a thing. After giving it some thought, I just realized how many people are going to be screwed out there. If you think about it, there's a group on the internet called Fail Army. And literally, they post other people's fail videos and benefit from it, right? Because of YouTube ad rev. Also, if you want to go real crazy about it, let's talk about video game content, right? You're playing a game developed by somebody else, producing fair use content, as it once was called. Now it's no longer the case. You're uploading that to YouTube's. You're making money off your views. Is that gonna stop? Like a lot of the stuff I watch on YouTube lately is video game content, except for the couple of vloggers that I watch. So, does that mean it's the end of like Twitch stream? Because if you think about it, what is Twitch? There's a couple people out there who IRL stream. They literally just set up a camera in their room and chat with whoever shows up. But 99% of Twitch is people playing a video game and chatting with their audience while they're playing a video game. Hell, I'm one of those people. Is that going to come to a bitter end now? Is that a thing? Like, this Article 13 is so vague, it can be construed in any which fashion. So does that mean that this is the end of Twitch? This is the end of content online? Is that what the EU is aiming to do? Is basically kill off all these independent creators because they can't follow a guideline, so they make a guideline that is so poorly designed and implemented that it literally screws over everybody and puts them in sheer fear? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. But if you think about it, it all makes sense, right? Like if you upload video game content, you didn't write that video game. That's not yours. So you're using it as a tool, under fair use, which like I said before, no longer applies, to produce content, and you're benefiting from said content. The author of that video game is not benefiting. Like when you play Grand Theft Auto Online, Rockstar's not making money off of you. They already made their money when they sold you a license for a copy. But in that license for a copy, it doesn't say anywhere in there that you have full permission to stream. Mind you, some independent games out there actually have it in the end user license agreement that you have full rights to reproduce content with their software on platform of your choice, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, whatever. Some of them do that, but a lot of them don't. A lot of the AAA titles we know nowadays don't. Could this be the end of esport broadcasting? Like, I'm pretty sure Butthole Entertainment would totally let PUBG go up on stream. Same with Epic and Fortnite, because those are like the main ones, right? Call of Duty probably would too, because why else was Call of Duty invented? I don't know, man. It just, I think they need to like define this bill or this article a lot more and make sure people understand what they're getting into and know how to like work with it, because it's pretty vague right now. Like, everything I've watched on it, everything I've researched on it, everything I looked up on it, literally it just says that if you upload copyright material, and they don't define copyright material, if you upload copyright material, the platform's under fire, not the uploader. Which is the reason why Fullscreen and all the rest of them basically axed a bunch of people, is because I guess they were afraid that these people would break the law. And they don't want to be responsible for it. So, what does that mean for the video game streamers? What does that mean for the video game YouTube video makers? They need to refine it more. That's the thing. They need to actually have a good definition, a policy. Something that people can read that isn't written in lawyer. You know what I mean? Like lawyer. Like, you ever try and read like a contract? And it's just written in mumbo jumbo, and you're looking at it and you're like tilting your head around like a pug dog, going like, what the frig is this? That's never fun. But that's what they need to do, is come up with an actual statement saying what you can and can't do when you're generating your own content, so people have a better guideline to follow. Because the guidelines on YouTube, fair use is still a thing. And like, fair use is something as simple as, like, say a teacher who uses a visual aid that they did not produce, i.e. a movie, an animation, a picture. That's fair use because they're using it to basically help instruct their class on whatever material they're talking about. Well, under Article 13, using that is copyright. So it's weird. Yeah. And I'm sorry guys if watching this video kind of bored you. It's a cold day, and I figured this is something I need to address because I had a bunch of people come to me and say, what the hell's really going on? Why'd this happen? Adam, talk to your guy. And this is the reason why it's happening, is because online digital media is changing. Everything's changing. First it started with the ads due to, you know, high-paying ads being rolled on dangerous videos like girls fighting in a high school and, you know, bum fights and all that stuff. And just the advertisers got mad. YouTube had to do something. And they did, and it resulted in what we now know as adpocalypse. And now the EU wants to crank up copyright protection, and their solution is to do exactly what they're doing. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know, it'd be neat to see what happens down the road. But like, does that mean like brands? Like the fact that I got a box of Folgers back here? Yeah, I got a box of Folgers back there. Like, I gotta blur that out now because I can't have any brands in my video that are not actually sponsoring the video. Is that a thing? Like, there's a lot of stuff that just needs to get covered before they can go live with this. And that's the problem with bureaucracy, is they launch a bill or launch an article or do something, but they don't actually go through the repercussion and the impact. They think they're protecting the content creator, but in the end, they're just ruining it for a lot of people. You know, and I get it. The whole idea is it comes back to Metallica and Napster. Protecting the artists. The ones who worked hard to get to the tippity top and prevent people from stealing from them, because those people stealing from them didn't work to get to the top. They're just trying to leech in off of the fame, right? I get it. I 100% get it. But their approach is kind of not good. And it needs a lot more work. But anyway, people, I've been talking about this subject for a while now. Tomorrow is back to work, day 1 of 5. Church and I are going to roll some PUBG there in a bit. You can play some video games, chillax, chat, hang out. And then I'm going to get to bed at a decent hour tonight because tomorrow, like I said, back to work, 5 days on. Short shift Thursday still in effect. And then next weekend, hopefully it's not this outside, this coldness. Like, it probably dropped again since I last checked. Here, let's ask the old hockey puck here. What's the current temperature outside in Fahrenheit?
The current temperature in North Bay is minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit. There is currently an extreme cold warning in effect.
Yeah, tell me what I already know. Okay, so I think it got 2 degrees cooler since we last checked. I can't remember. Oh yeah, broccoli farts. But anyway, people, I'm going to shut her down here and get this all edited up. There's probably tons of footage. Probably looking at a long one talking about this Article 13. And I do apologize for the boringness of this video. But if you're a content creator, this is probably stuff that you need to know, and probably stuff that even after you watch this video, you should go out there and do more research and educate yourself on this, especially if you plan on staying on the platform and you're looking to make this into a business. Like, you want to actually make some money off this sea sucker. Because, well, let me tell you a little something about that. You don't follow the guidelines, you ain't making a dime. And if you do follow the guidelines, you'll make 2 dimes. Apocalypse sucks. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.